like this is a part of our ascension process right now. Like this is what we're doing here. Like we're working through the disconnection, the separation, the fear, the lack, in order to come back into our light and learn how to hold that frequency. Hello and welcome to the weekly energy reading for the first week of December 2024, December 1st through the 7th, I believe. I think it's the 1st through the 7th. My name is Rachel. I'm an emotional and spiritual wellness practitioner. This is Lyra, one of my kitties. Other kitty, her brother's over here sleeping in a box that is too small for him. Anyways, welcome. We're going to be looking at the energies coming up for this week, first week of December. If you missed the monthly energy reading, I'll put a link up here for it or in the description if you want to watch that too. Also very exciting, I have launched my membership. It is called The Lighthouse. I do additional readings in there for the new and full moons. I have a monthly integration activity that goes along with the monthly energy reading, and I'm going to be doing a live energy healing every single month. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, there's a link in the description. If you haven't gotten my free centering meditation yet, I do have a free Reiki infused meditation. There's a link for that below too. So let's go ahead and get into our reading this week. I'm going to start with an oracle card here to get just kind of an overall message for the week. Singing stones. Transmit your vibration, use your voice. I was trying to think where this came up recently. This came up in one of my group readings recently. So interesting. Yeah, I'm really feeling into this, the energy of using your voice, of really being aligned with like what is true for you and your values. That was a theme that came up in the monthly energy reading. There was some energy around like knowing who you are and what you want to emit into the world. And this feels like really kind of stepping into that position that we each hold individually in our own lives, of expressing ourselves in whatever way we feel called to express ourselves. And that can be in many different ways. It can be through sharing what we're experiencing, sharing our thoughts, our opinions, our beliefs, actually speaking, sharing our voice. It can be through expressing ourselves creatively in an artistic way, or through how we show up in our relationships. It really feels like this kind of like honest and authentic expression of who you are is this energy that I'm feeling into. It's like we all have a unique frequency that we bring, especially being in these, unique personalities that we are in this lifetime. Like we have a special frequency and expression that we're emitting into the world, and that we came here to emit into the world. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards here, get some supporting energies around this theme of our expressing ourselves authentically. Okay, couple popping out. Okay, so we had the Knight of Wands pop out, Justice, and then I pulled the Four of Swords. Let's see. Okay, yeah, interesting. This Knight of Wands came out in the new moon reading, the new moon in Sagittarius reading that I did in my membership. It was a little bit of a different energy than what I'm feeling coming through right now, in combination with this Justice and Four of Swords card here. It does feel like I'm really feeling the expression in this card, like the kind of forward output, this outward expression. And maybe that feels a little intimidating to you. Maybe you're a little bit more of a private, quiet person. I definitely, I used to really, really hide in all ways possible. It's been really kind of a big thing for me to be even on the internet doing this, and doing other things in my life where I'm showing up as myself, and it feels very vulnerable and scary. But this feels like, it's going to look different for everyone, the way that we express ourselves. And that is like the beauty of us each having our own unique lives, right? Having our own unique identities. Like, we get to choose how we show up. And bringing in this justice energy and this like Four of Swords, this feels like very much balance, right? Like, this is the card of rest. And it feels like in order for us to really embody who we are, like, designed to be, who our soul is wanting to express in this lifetime, it feels like we need to make sure that we are coming into ourselves as well, like taking time kind of separate from the noise around us, whether that's, the noise of the world or the noise of your immediate world, whatever it is that pulls you out of your own knowing, your own inner wisdom, your inner world, whatever pulls you away from you. Like, how can you set boundaries with that so that you can really get to know yourself better, and know who you are, so that you can show up as that person, right? It can be really challenging to hear our own inner voice, our higher self, our intuition, our guides, whatever it is, however it is you connect. It can be challenging to hear that when we are stuck in our conditioning and our programming, and really heavily influenced by the world outside of us, right? And this feels just like really like a coming inward. And the Justice card is so much of balance. And so it's like, yeah, it's like this, like, we need to like go inside in order to bring ourselves out into the world, right? Okay, so how can we work with this energy coming up this week? The Hermit. Interesting. Talking about this going inward and really connecting with yourself. Like, yeah, it very much is this, like, take time for yourself in whatever way you can. We all have different responsibilities. Maybe you're very busy and you're taking care of a lot of people. Like, whatever you can do to just get a few moments away from everything, maybe it's just like when you're getting ready in the morning, or maybe if you're like, using the restroom or something, like, can you take a moment to just close your eyes, settle into your body, settle into your breath, just take some deep breaths coming into the moment so that you can be with yourself and reconnect with your inner world, because it really is this need to come into our own energy, because like I said, like, we're being influenced by so much stuff going around. There's a lot of intense energies flying around. There's a lot of big emotions flying around, and it can be easy to get swept away in that. And that can create more imbalance and turmoil and chaos and misalignment in our lives. So it's really important to know where you exist and where external energy exists, right? Like, knowing the boundaries between yourself and the people around you, between yourself and the energies around you, right? Like, whatever it is that exists in your world, but also like the collective energies too. If you're here, I would think maybe you're probably a little bit more empathic, and you can feel kind of energies of the world around you. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in the collective, right? And so it's really, really important that like yes, we are all one, and we are all connected to that, and we are all processing it in our own ways, and there's no really like getting away from being connected to that. And also, it's really important for us to have a healthy relationship with it, right? Like a healthy, I don't really want to say separation, but like just a healthy boundary with it, right? With how we interact with it and how we let it influence us. Okay, let's see what else we have coming up here. Let's do, I feel called to pull another card around how we're working with this energy this week. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's like managing our emotions, our anxieties. Fear is a really, it can be a very powerful emotion, and it can overtake us. If you are, familiar with when you get triggered, like, and you're familiar with the sensations that come up in your body when you feel fear, it can be, it can just like halt everything, right? Like if you don't have tools to practice nervous system regulation, it would be a really wonderful time to start looking into that. Breathing, like I mentioned earlier, is really, really, it's a very grounding, centering practice. Just, noticing your breath, just taking a few deep breaths in, doing some kind of physical movement is a very grounding regulation tool. EFT tapping, if you're familiar with that, I really enjoy Brad Yates here on YouTube. He has a massive collection of EFT tapping videos of just all kinds of things. Those can be very, very helpful, or just, tapping intuitively on your body. There are tons of things that you can do. That's something that I might provide in the future, is some tools and resources for nervous system regulation specifically. So that is like going to be very helpful right now, especially if you are sensitive and interacting with the energies that are happening in the world. But also like for your own life and alignment, right? Like for you to learn how to better work with your own emotions, and how to navigate your inner world in a healthy way, and not getting swept up and pulled away by your own emotions, your own wounding and conditioning that we all have. We're human, that's a part of it. And learning how to navigate your inner world and use your emotions as a guide, right? Because your emotions are telling you something, they're communicating something with you about something that's going on in your energy field, about what's going on in your body, about what, how you feel about how someone is interacting with you, how you're interacting with yourself. Your emotions are communicating with you. And so it's really important that we get connected to them so that we can understand what they're telling us, and we can work with them in a way that is beneficial, right? That is helpful for knowing what we need and how we can get our needs met ourselves, and by the people around us, and how we, what we need to be doing, really. So let's see, let's get a guidance card here. What is our guidance for the week? The Sun. Aw. It's just nice to have the bright sun energy, right? Like this feels like the healing power of joy. Maybe that sounds a little cheesy, but there is truly something so powerful and magical when you can access joy. And I know that it can be hard to do that when you are watching things happening around you that are not coming from a place of love, that are the total opposite of joy and peace. And maybe you feel guilty wanting to like enjoy yourself or have a good time and be happy. Like holding on to that guilt and holding on to the vibration of pain and suffering and fear, that is not going to heal the world, right? Like that is not going to balance out those frequencies that exist on this planet, right? Like we need to embody these lighter energies, these more love-based energies of peace, joy, love, right? And the light that exists within all of us. Like, we need to work with our emotions, manage our nervous systems, and work with our inner world so that we can access this state of being, this bright energy that we all have within us, we all have access to. It just gets clouded out by, you know, ego stuff, human stuff, all of the hard stuff that we have to deal with and witness being here on earth. But like, this is a part of our ascension process right now. Like, this is what we're doing here. Like, we're working through the disconnection, the separation, the fear, the lack, in order to come back into our light and learn how to hold that frequency. That is a big part of what we're doing here, right? So what can you do in order to connect with your light more, right? Like, how can you find more joy in your day? Like, literally anything that makes you happy, that makes you smile, like, you know, cute animal videos on the internet. I love cute little animal videos. Maybe you have a pet that you connect with. Maybe you have kids that you have a really nice relationship with that you can play with, right? Or any people around you. Like, what is it that brings you joy? It can be really small. It can be just, you know, looking outside your window and seeing the beautiful nature outside. Whatever it is, I would really, really invite you to do some journaling around that. Maybe write a list of everything that makes you happy, right? And maybe when you're having a hard time pulling on joy, you can go back to that list and look at the things that make you happy. A gratitude list is a good idea. I think I need to do that myself. That might be something that would be helpful with navigating these times, right? Because like I said, there's a lot of intense energies. We're all going through our own individual journeys on top of that, and having these cards come through right now, like, in order for us to like shine our light outwards, to share our voice, right? Like, we need to connect with our joy that we have within us. We need to connect to our inner world, the peace within us, the clarity and like sanctuary that we have within ourselves, so that we can show up in the world in a more aligned and loving way. So I would love to hear what resonated with you. Again, if you missed the monthly energy reading, there's a link in the description. There's a link up here, I think. Again, my monthly membership is open. We're going to be doing an energy healing on the 15th of December at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That would be 1 p.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you there. If that's something that feels aligned for you, definitely go check it out. Again, free meditation in the description. My socials are down there too. I would invite you to also subscribe so you can get all of these weekly energy readings that I'm doing. And I hope you have a beautiful December. I'll see you next week.